Hello, fellow Frontier explorers, Blue Frontier, here again with my second Let's Play of Sonic Frontiers on hard difficulty. We are now in Ares Island, and yeah, we're just going to go ahead and get started. These enemies are interesting. You can homing attack up to get them. That's the only way to defeat them. The one thing I don't like is if you're just trying to run around and you don't really want to interact with them, the camera will be forced up to them jumping in the air before you can keep moving. So that's a little bit annoying, but that's okay. We're going to collect these emblems, these memory tokens for Knuckles. Knuckles is actually in this one. And if you're like, Knuckles, he wasn't with the trio at the beginning of the cutscene. Well, that's because Knuckles had his own animated prologue before the game released. And it's actually really good. I definitely recommend you go ahead and check that out. It just pretty much shows how Knuckles got here. They don't really touch on it much in the game. But yeah. So, Ares Island isn't bad. I definitely don't hate it. I think there's a few mini-bosses that are a little bit frustrating to go up against, but besides that, it's pretty good. Just a reminder as well, if you are annoyed by my voice and would rather just watch a walkthrough of this game, I do have an entire walkthrough playlist of this game on beginner mode that you can check out. And yeah, let's just keep going. And before I forget, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video. It really helps a lot, and I would greatly appreciate it. Also, comment down below on what you think of these Let's Plays. Do you want me to show more of the gameplay, less of the cutscenes? Do you want more of just like a straight playthrough? I'm very curious to what you guys want, and I would appreciate the feedback a lot. So yeah, we just released Knuckles, so that's cool. And we have our fun little sage right there, just boop. I love Sonic and Knuckles' kind of like brother relationship in this game. They do a really good job of them just like teasing each other, but it's like Knuckles isn't just like a buffoon, which he has been in a lot of previous Sonic games. Strider. If I can give any hints or tips for Strider, do not boost when you're grinding. That's one thing that I really don't appreciate with this game, is the lack of control Sonic has when he is grinding. Like, obviously you can boost on the rail, but if you're in the air and boosting, you're going to lose all control and you're not going to be able to get up. So just be aware of that. And then that also goes for when you're exploring these islands. I found it very difficult to have control when boosting on rails. For the most part, you will slip off or go the wrong direction, and it's just something I really think they could have improved on a little bit because it's such a big part of the game. Yeah. Alright, we're just going to take him down real quick. I have auto combos on. It's something you can unlock with the skill tree. I think it's pretty nifty. Pretty easy to use because it's auto, obviously. Like, look at me go. I'm just wailing at him. A mini-boss I dislike more than Strider would be Sumo. Basically, you have to homing attack up on this like guardrail or whatever, and then ring him into the electricity. It seems pretty simple, but if he's not in the right position, yeah, it takes a while to fight this guy. I'm not a fan of the design in the sense of the mechanics of the fighting. As far as the enemy design, it's fine. And I think it's a fun idea. It just, maybe because I'm on hard mode, they made it a little bit more tricky, but it's just like, it's really difficult to line up these shots unless you get them in a really nice position. And by the time you get to a wall, it might be too late, or it might change where the electricity field is. So, yeah, not my favorite encounter, but a memorable one nonetheless. When I come to think about it, I think that's the only real flaw I have, or the issue I have with Ares Island, is these mini-bosses. The mechanics seem very forced and different, which is great. I like the variety, but at the same time, it's not really necessarily fun. It's more of like chance. And yeah, they're not my favorite. Everything else about this island isn't too bad, though. A little bit tricky to find the Chaos Emerald location. Oh, look at Sonic go. That was really cool. The Chaos Emerald locations are a little bit annoying, but for the most part, not too bad. How about you guys comment down below on what your favorite mini-boss is in the Sonic Frontiers series? I would love to know. Alright, we got our first Chaos Emerald, and it looks like, yep, the big bad for Ares Island has appeared. He's pretty cool looking. It's like a flying dragon snake thing.
While I cannot fully control it, I can awaken its rage against you.
Sage is just on a mission to stop Sonic at any turn. Oh, jeez. It looks like we have a little chase that we gotta do. Alright, let's get to it. Alright, so let's see what this guy has to offer. Ah, missiles. Perfect. Alright. I don't really know how we're supposed to know. I guess it's the explosions we're dodging. Yeah, okay, walls. That's cool. He's a wall spawner. Spikes. Perfect. I'm glad that they're perfectly placed in my pathing. Can we do this without getting damaged? Let's see. Alright. Nice. Let's go. I'm actually kind of curious, can these missiles actually even hurt you? Or is it all just kind of like scripted? Regardless, we're doing well, even though I'm not like being like spry and super quick. Alright, I think this is the end of it. Yeah, let's go! Damageless! Of course we get hit at the very end, right? Yeah, jeez, take your time, Sonic. Oh man, what a stutter that was. So I'm not gonna lie, I got really annoyed trying to find all the portals to get the Chaos Emerald keys. So I fortunately did find Big's portal, and I just decided, hey, I'm just going to buy all the Chaos Emerald Vault keys here, so that way I don't have to worry about hunting down the portals. I always found this mechanic kind of interesting in Sonic Frontiers, that you can kind of just buy all these collectibles, but hey, it works out in my favor. In my first playthrough of this game, I really had a hard time with this mini-game or this mission. As you can see, we're not starting off too well. But then I realized, you know, you don't have to pick a majority of them up before getting to Knuckles. You can do 2 at a time. It takes longer, but, I mean, it's efficient. What I also realized you can do is you can actually homing attack to these Coco, so it makes it a lot quicker. So the next time you try out this mission, try doing that because it makes it a lot easier. Just remember, the more Coco you stack up, the faster these things fall, and they have a pretty big hitbox, so just be wary of that. So as we're going through, we're learning that this ancient civilization of chaos-looking creatures, they had a whole military system. They had a whole army and these defenses. So we're slowly getting more of this lore about this world, the Starfall Islands that we, you know, have ventured off to. And I just really am impressed by how dark Sonic Frontiers story gets with this, but a lot of it still needs to be explained, I think. For one, Sonic and the team, from my knowledge, they don't even really acknowledge the fact that the Ancients look like Chaos. Like, is Chaos a descendant of the Ancients? Like, we're not really even given any of that, to my knowledge. I really like this moment here where Sage is like, hey, well, you know, Cubot and the other one be like my brothers. Dayman's like, yeah, I guess so. Because he's saying he likes Sage's work and he wants her to come back home with him, which I think is really nice and sweet. And there's, you know, his walls are slowly breaking down with his, you know, artificial daughter. So if my memory is serving me correctly, this level is actually very reminiscent of Skyrail from Sonic Adventure 2. And speaking of Sonic Adventure 2, once I'm done with these Let's Plays of Sonic Frontiers and make a little bit more Sonic Frontiers content, I do plan on playing other Sonic games and talking about other Sonic games. I'm a very long-time Sonic fan, so you guys let me know down in the comments what games you want to see. I'm thinking about maybe just going in reverse order, so we do Sonic Frontiers, then Sonic Forces, but then at the same time, I don't want to burn out too quickly. I don't want to like force myself to play Sonic games that I don't really like too much. To be quite honest, Sonic Forces is definitely not one of my favorites. So yeah, I'm still thinking about that, but your guys' input as well would be very nice to hear what you want to see next for the channel. Like, we got ourselves a Sand Shark! Okay, this is a very interesting mini-boss. We basically have to grab onto its tail and take it for a nice long drive. Basically just hang on for your dear life, and then once he's tired, beat the living crap out of him. Alright, so we made it to Wyvern, the final boss for the Ares Island level. So he is an interesting one. Whereas Giganto, you kind of just run in, beat him up, you know, do a few blocks. There's a little bit more of a platforming element to this boss. So right now, we have to get the last Chaos Emerald to go supersonic. So we're running on this path, very similar to that of Squid from the first island that we were on. So once we get through this, we dodge some of his lasers, jump over a little bit, get to his head. We can then activate the final part of this fight. Just a quick tip, I'm not quite sure if this is because I'm on hard difficulty or not, but you actually have to have a decent timing with your block in order not to get hit by this boss. I was having a really hard time before when you're doing like the map quests and stuff. There's this challenge where a ball will shoot at you and you just hold down L1 and R1 if you're playing on the PlayStation like I am, and you just hold it down and Sonic will parry the attack. But for some reason, if I don't get the timing right for this boss, I get hit. So I don't really know if that's because of the difficulty change or just because my buttons are being worn out holding them down so much playing this game. But yeah, this is basically the boss fight. We're just dodging missiles and trying to get to the head of the Wyvern, I believe is how you say it. Fortunately for this fight, they have a lot of rings that are around, and you pretty much just magnetize them towards you. So you don't really have to worry about time running out. I think they were very gracious with that. And here we go. I think we're knocking him into his next phase. So let's get ready for some lasers. He's doing a missile attack. I completely messed it up. I thought it was a mash, not a quick time thing, but I guess it's very gracious to us if we miss. Sonic plays soccer, confirmed. I guess we knew that from Mario and Sonic in the Olympic Games anyway. Yeah, very cool. Get the block. Ooh, okay. It's so awesome. Like, they made Supersonic so powerful. It's great. I love it. It's very cinematic with these fights. I don't know how they're going to do future Sonic games, because this is what we're all expecting, right? Every boss fight to be a Supersonic thing. Let me just throw this back at you. Oh, that's actually him. Hi-ya! It's gotta load. It takes it a minute for this fight. You're not fooling me this time. Alright, buddy. How about you go ahead and open up for me? Say, ah! And that will do it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, if you are enjoying these Let's Plays, be sure to subscribe and like the video so that way I know you guys are enjoying it and I can make more. Please give me feedback down in the comments on what you would like to see more of or less of. I'm very open to the feedback. If you want to see more of the playthroughs and walkthroughs without my talking, that is available. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Later.